Hi, this is puff adder. Vitis aretans aretans. One of the most prevalent and common snakes across the African continent. This is a pretty big one. Nice big female. As puff adders are, a nice grumpy one as well. That is typical puff adder behavior. Now ordinarily they are one of the fastest striking snakes in the world. Strike very, very fast. I see there's estimates of like 17 meters per second all the way up to 30 meters per second in terms of the speed of their strike. If you can hear that now, the huffing and puffing sound, this is where they get their common name from. And there you can see, typical puff adder behavior. Is very grumpy, very cantankerous, and make no mistake, this snake, if you tread on this in the bush, it will not hesitate to bite you. And it's a very painful bite. Puff adders eat rodents, warm-blooded prey, and they ambush hunters. So they will come out at night. They're also a nocturnal snake, and they will plant themselves next to an animal trail where they've detected by their very sensitive sense of smell through their tongue that there is rodents moving up and down there, and they will wait for their food to come to them. This could take hours, even days sometimes. And what happens, you'll notice here, is quite highly camouflaged against the leaves and the grasses. And what generally happens is the village children and the people move up and down. They're either wearing sandals, the children are wearing shorts, and they're barefoot, and they accidentally tread on these because they don't see them, and the snake therefore retaliates and they get bitten. It has a nasty cytotoxic venom, which is a cell-destroying venom, a flesh-destroying venom. As the late great Steve Irwin used to say, it rots the flesh. And very often, because people don't get to medical assistance quick enough, they end up having to have a limb or part of a limb amputated because it's not possible to save it. The flesh has been so destroyed. But I want to show you something else now. This is a great opportunity, and I don't often get this type of opportunity to show you the difference between the personality of this and something else, which is actually quite special. Excuse me. I'd like you to see the difference between these two snakes. Many African people believe this is one and the same snake. Now in Bemba, this particular snake here, the puff adder, is known as Ifwafwa. Now I'm assuming that has something to do with the description of it huffing and puffing and the way it makes a noise. But this one here is Chipili. In the Kaunde language it's Kipiti. You can see a clear difference between these two snakes. This one has a generally dark coloring with, these are normally, which you can see very well when it sheds its skin, then the colors are nice and bright, a yellow chevron pattern all the way along its body. These are typical chevrons over here. Whereas this one has this beautiful Persian carpet-like patterning. Now this one also is due to shed its skin. It's quite a orangey, dusty color. But these areas here are like purple and pink and orange, and it's quite a beautiful snake when it is newly shed. Now you can see complete difference in the personality of these two snakes. This one will not hesitate to bite you, the puff adder. The Gaboon Viper, on the other hand, I call it the laziest snake in the world. I can stand right here for hours and this snake either won't move or it will just casually move off like it's trying to do now. The Gaboon Viper also has the distinction of being the largest and longest viper in the world. You can see that massive head in comparison to its body. This is actually a particularly small one. It's about 1.1, 1.2 meters. And there you can see the typical type of movement of this type of snake. We call it a caterpillar-like movement, where it appears to be walking on its ribs. Now this one may or may not get a bit irritated with me because it is also a nocturnal snake and they like to sleep. So hopefully here you've seen a clear difference between these two snakes. What makes it even better, the comparison, is that they are more or less the same length. There's a few centimeters difference between them. But this one just wants to get out of the sun now. I'm going to hide somewhere until the sun goes down. But while we're busy with this, I would like to show you something, and for that I need to remove my gloves. This snake also has the distinction of having the longest venom fangs of any snake in the world. Now this particular one is not by any means fully grown where the puff adder is. This snake can grow, on average it's about 1.5 meters, but they can also get to 1.8 meters, and I've heard reports of them of being 2 meters plus. I don't know how true those reports are, but they are a very big, very heavy snake. Ooh, okay, come back. Stay still. Okay. I'd like to show you the venom fangs on this. Okay, we managed to get one. Come on, come on. There you can see on the roof of the mouth, there's a nice long venom fang. Now that venom fang is over 2 centimeters long, and this snake is not even half grown. I don't want to mess with her too much. Now this particular snake as well, it has a combination venom. Yes, it's predominantly cytotoxic, just like the puff adder, but it also has a neurotoxin. It's like being bitten by an adder and a cobra at the same time, and it's a very bad and excruciatingly painful bite. Fortunately, not many people get bitten. These snakes like to be deep in the forests, on the leaf bed, and as you can see, maybe I can demonstrate that. Puff adder sitting there threatening us at the moment. Come on. Allow me to demonstrate. Here is typical forest floor. And you can see how camouflaged this snake is against this background. At the moment it's moving, so it's easy to see. But if you didn't know it was there, and if you look at the patterning on the leaf litter that's on the floor, and look at the patterning on the snake, you can see they can be very similar. I'll collect the snake now as she goes through from between the trees. Come on. Big, heavy snake. By the same token, before I hang up here, this snake gives me an opportunity. Oh shush. Here's Grumpy. Grumpy, Grumpy. Okay, and just because that snake has the longest fangs of any snake in the world, it doesn't mean this one's fangs are smaller. This is what the puff adder teeth look like. Also a very painful bite, but a very quick striking snake. They are equally quick in their strike. It's just that one has a very different temperament to the other. I'm going to release this now, and then go and collect the other one. I won't be releasing either of these snakes today, as I'm going to keep both of them for training purposes. You can see here with Vitis gabonica here, a slow, leisurely pace. She's going off into the forest, look for a place to sleep. Doesn't want to bother anybody with anything, just wants to be left alone. But these snakes, they get so big, they can eat a fully grown guinea fowl. They can even eat a newborn wild pig and fully grown rabbits. They're a pretty hefty snake. So I think they've had enough of me now. I'm going to put them away. Thank you very much.